Okay. So we're here today with Anthony and David from Just Crisps and Oil at their farm in Hilrid Ware, just to find out a little bit more about the business and obviously celebrate 40 years of Canalside. So we were talking earlier about you thinking that we were probably one of your very first customers.
Definitely, poor old Wendy had to, my first sales pitch for rapeseed oil, so obviously turned up, I'd seen it in the Telegraph, top 10 things going up in the UK, and one was cold pressed rapeseed oil, so basically I got a few bottles, filled them up by hand, stuck a few homemade labels on, and drove round to see Wendy and a few other people in Staffordshire who just started farm shops. It was really early days of farm shops then, so it'd be around about 2005, I guess.
Okay.
And said to Wendy, sale or return, see if you can sell this. It's really new. So Wendy being Wendy said, yeah, we'll give it a go. And then literally the following week she rang up, well, I've sold all that. Can we have some more? I went, oh yeah, okay, I'll better bottle a bit more. So that's how I started.
Is that, so 2005 is when you started, or was it earlier?
No, we'd been crushing a little bit, messing around with it, but then having seen that there was an actual market for cold pressed rapeseed oil, then we literally started bottling it.
But you've always been in farming and the potato farming and things like that.
Yeah, so I've always been farming, so we were a mixed farm. In the time I've been farming, we stopped dairying about 1984, and then we had quite a lot of sheep, and then sadly they all got killed for foot and mouth in 2001.
Right.
And then I'd sort of been looking for something else to add to the farm.
Yeah.
Got married, we're having children, needed a bit of extra income, so I was looking for a bit of a diversification.
Yeah.
And so that's when I started doing cold pressed rapeseed oil, and then obviously we started doing mayonnaises and things like that.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think there's that big diversification, and I definitely think that's where Chris and Wendy started the farm shop. And there was that, Chris sort of relayed to me the story about having those relationships with supermarkets at that time was so unpredictable, and you were sort of at their mercy, so they kind of wanted to take a bit more control back themselves and do something themselves, and that's kind of where the farm shop sprung from. So it is that diversification thing, I think.
Yeah, and I think that they were like me, were quite heavily involved in Heart of England Fine Foods, which is no longer around now, but it's a really great idea. It was a food hub, and it gave people like me a bit of a leg up, because I didn't really know much about food production or anything like that, or selling. I think that was a really helpful starter. Helped me get some labels made, and just generally, and they were very instigating in Heart of England Fine Foods as well, because they were quite keen on that kind of thing.
Yeah. And how do you find it working as a family business? The pros and the cons.
Oh, are there any pros? I'm not sure.
I think what Anthony's trying to say.
I mean, I think, well, poor old David gets the brunt of it, I'm afraid, but obviously, we've got Becky in the office, my parents are there, my sister does the oil side of it, now obviously the kids come along, and it's quite a lot, not nepotism, but everybody's got an opinion, and everybody expects to have their opinion heard, don't they? But my dad will pop in and chuck a grenade in every now and again, really? and then leave.
And there's got to be pros as well, I guess, because you're all here. We walk past your beautiful house at the front of the site, so you're all here, you're all together, and it's a bonding experience, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess even as we all know, during COVID, it's great. We're all at home. We were very lucky. Obviously, we've got plenty of space on the farm, so it was probably more of an experience for us, because I had the kids home, of which normally they wouldn't have been here. They'd been off doing something far more exciting than being with their parents.
And is there anything that you've learnt over the years that you would have done differently, or any big learning curve?
Well, as in never starting it in the first place.
Well, there's that.
Build a bigger factory from the start, I think.
Oh, interesting. So you obviously grow potatoes and everything here, and you do the rapeseed oil, which we stock, and the mayonnaise, and then the beautifully modelled crisps as well. And so they all get produced here on site, and it's all British ingredients, is that right?
Yeah, so obviously we've obviously driven past what was a rape field, it's now been harvested, it's all in the shed now. Then obviously the potatoes, we've seen the potato fields, they're literally one field away from behind us, and you've taken some pictures of the lake where we get the water from, so literally within 100 yards of the factory, so very close.
Really low carbon footprint, basically, really low food miles, so I think for you guys you will not get a more local product. And I think probably one of the great things we achieved was a year or two ago when we did tried to do the world's freshest crisps.
Yeah.
And we dug up the potatoes from the field, rushed them into the factory, fried them in the award-winning oil, and then within half an hour we got them down, and your customers were enjoying them outside the shop.
I remember, and it was a gloriously sunny day, so quite different to this. And then we came with all those boxes, and we had a few people miffed because they went so fast, but we were like, well, it's gone in 40 minutes and here, and that's it, they went.
I think, was it 40 minutes? And literally
under 40 minutes.
And I think we had
the
bagging machine played up.
Yeah, you were like, the machine's broken, blah, 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 but we're here. So it was really
we came
cool.
in the clumpy old Land Rover, literally, so it does about 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, and it was amazing, and everyone really enjoyed them. And that is the thing, it's that low food miles, like you say, it's local businesses, I guess, and knowing who you're buying from and where it's coming from. I mean, there's 500 acres here that, you know, and within 20-minute drive of us. So we're really lucky, I think, in Staffordshire to have so many great producers and farmers around us, really.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it needs promoting, really, which I love about Canal Side. It's a very family orientated business, the same as we are, so we fit together quite nicely. I think, you know, sometimes I wonder whether, you know, when people are buying on price, well, it's not always about the price. Sometimes it's about the provenance and
it's overall value for money.
And people say you don't get better crisps than yours. We have people that come all the time that say they come for the crisps. So
well, that's a nice compliment. We are still learning that.
And then you say your visit to Canal Side with the crisps was your first visit probably to us. Have you been as a customer since? And
no. Well, my first visit would have been obviously to go and see Black Wendy and to try and use my oil. No, I've been. Well, generally, it's my father, I think, mainly comes to delivering crisps. His weekly visit.
Yeah.
He stays and has a coffee in the cafe, which is very nice.
That's the thing.
And then comes back with probably more shopping than we've actually sold to you.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, I think. Yeah.
So you come, just into the Canal Side, coming back with bagfuls of meat and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it is like that kind of place, really, I think, and it's nice that, like, it is your dad that's dropping the stuff off. I think all that is nice as well, isn't it, really, that you sort of get to know everyone.
Yeah, I think so. And it you know, it sort of fits, doesn't it? Obviously, from the, you know, on the Just Door side, poor old David, you know, even though he's not a family member, he's very patient with the rest of the family that are giving him grief.
No comment.
Just going to smile nicely, nod.
Yeah, but I think that as well, there's never going to be any more passionate than the people that are in the family business, and I think that's why they do so well.
You know,
they care, don't they?
I've worked for a number of large international businesses, and you know the difference between that and a small family farming business is that everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
And everyone's really passionate about what they're doing and really wanting the business to succeed. They're in it for the long haul, and the decisions that get made are for the benefit. You know, this farm's been here for over 100 years now. Wow. And that's not been achieved just by luck. You know, there's been a bit of a plan, and yes, it's bent in the wind a few times and changed direction, but it's still here and still successful, and that's down to the family.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, with some of the larger businesses where people don't have that association and skin in the game, you know, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. So last but not least, we would like to know if there's any exciting plans for the future that we should know about.
Well, I think you've seen them. Years and years and years ago, we did mayonnaise, but we've now bought a new all singing, all dancing Magic Mix on steroids, so they call it. So we can make really nice mayonnaise with our rapeseed oil. We can make a fantastic vegan mayonnaise now, which even I have to say, I think it's probably better than the actual normal.
Than the egg-based.
Really?
Yeah. It's quite a lighter product.
Yeah.
So we've got that, and hollandaise, which we'll be promoting probably at Christmas time, ready for the new asparagus season next year.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously hollandaise isn't just for asparagus season, but generally that's when most
nice
gets
eggs
done.
Benedict for Christmas morning.
Well, I was thinking we have eggs Benedict in our cafe actually as well, so we'll have to give it a try in there.
I mean, obviously, you know, the mayonnaise and stuff is the newest thing.
Yeah.
It's probably taken us 2 years, I think, to get it and buy the kit and doing it in between times, as you know. You've got your day job to do, and then you have to do all the other stuff. Yeah.
But it sounds very exciting. I can't wait to try it, especially the vegan one. I know that will be popular. So.
And I guess the other thing will be the veg crisps now, which we're investing a bit more heavily in that. to try and get us in a better product. So we're not making it at the moment because we only use British veg. So come September time we'll be starting again.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you very much
Good.
for your time. It's
Okay.
been great to visit the farm. We'll put up all the pictures that we've had today and show you all the bits there, and then everything is available in the farm shop to buy from now. Thank you
Good.
very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.